I never rented a car again after that night, and I never look into the rearview mirror anymore, not even in my own car, especially not at night. This happened 3 weeks ago. I'm a technical consultant based in Philadelphia. My job requires travel, site visits, client meetings, overnight work. Usually I drive my own car. It's routine, predictable, safe. But that Tuesday evening, my car wouldn't start. At first I thought it was just the battery, but when the mechanic checked it, he told me the alternator was dead too. He said he could fix it, but not until Thursday. I had a client presentation in Pittsburgh, Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Missing it sure wasn't an option. By the time I left the mechanic and figured out my options, and it was already after 9 p.m. Most rental places were closed. I searched online and found one last location still open near the airport. A small rental counter inside a gas station. When I walked in, the attendant barely looked at me. He was leaning back in his chair, watching something on his phone. "I need a rental," I said. He tapped his screen and without interest. "Just one left," he said. "Silver Camry, Lot B, space 12. He slid the key across the counter. I hesitated, and for a moment. "Someone just return it?" I asked. He looked up at me then, not confused, not curious, just watching me. Then he said, "It was returned." Nothing else. I took the key and walked out. The car was parked at the far edge of the lot, under a flickering overhead light, the kind that buzzes faintly like an insect trapped inside glass. I unlocked the door and opened it, and immediately I smelled it. Perfume, not fresh, not clean, old, floral, but heavy, the kind of scent that lingers too long. I froze there, holding the door open. Then I leaned in and checked the back seat. Empty. I opened the rear door, checked the floor. Nothing. I opened the trunk. Empty. I told myself it was nothing, just leftover scent from a previous renter. I got in, started the car, and pulled onto the highway. The moment the doors locked automatically, I heard something else, not loud, just a soft, mechanical click behind me, like the rear passenger lock, engaging a second later than the others. I frowned and checked the lock indicator. Everything was secured. I told myself it was just the timing. Older cars did that sometimes, but without thinking. I glanced at the rearview mirror again. The back seat looked empty. Still, something about the darkness back there felt heavier than it should have, like the space wasn't really empty. I adjusted the mirror slightly, forcing myself to see nothing, and kept driving. For the first 20 minutes, everything felt normal. Then I noticed the temperature. It was cold, inside the car. Not cool, cold. I checked the climate controls. The heat was on full blast. I turned it higher. Nothing changed. My hands stayed cold, on the steering wheel. My breath didn't fog, but it felt like it should. I told myself the heater needed time, but it never warmed up. About 40 minutes into the drive, I saw her. She was standing on the shoulder of the highway. A woman, long dark hair, thin frame, wearing a coat. She wasn't waving. She wasn't moving. She was just standing there, facing the road, waiting. There were no exits nearby, no buildings, no lights, just trees and then darkness. I slowed down. I don't know why. Instinct, maybe, or guilt, or something else. I passed her slowly, watching her through my passenger window. She didn't turn her head. She didn't react. She just stood there. I drove another 50 feet, then I stopped. I don't know why I stopped. Even now, I can't explain it. I put the car in park and stepped out. The cold hit me immediately. "Hey," I called. "Are you okay?" She didn't answer. I walked toward her, 10 feet, 5 feet, and then she wasn't there. She didn't walk away. She didn't run. She was just gone. The space where she'd been standing on was empty. I stood there when staring. Then I heard it, behind me. The sound of a car door closing. I turned. The rear passenger door was shut. I knew it had been open. I remembered checking it. Now, it was closed, and the interior light had turned off. I walked back slowly. My heart was beating so hard, I could hear it. I reached the car. I looked through the rear window and I saw something on the glass. Condensation from the inside, at head level, like someone had been sitting there breathing. I didn't open the door again. I got in, locked every door and drove, faster. 15 minutes later, I heard it again, breathing, soft, steady, from the back seat. I froze. I didn't want to look, but I did. I looked into the rearview mirror. She was sitting there, clear, solid, watching me. I blinked. She was gone, but the cold stayed, and the smell grew stronger, closer, like she was leaning toward me. I didn't turn around. I didn't want to confirm it. And so did the smell. I didn't make it to Pittsburgh that night. I pulled into a roadside motel, and about an hour later, it was small, cheap. The neon vacancy sign flickered. I went inside. An older man sat behind the counter. "I need a room," I said. He looked at me. Then he looked past me, through the window, at the car. His expression changed. Not surprised, not confused, concerned. "Room 9, he said. I hesitated. "Can you check my car?" I asked. "Something feels wrong." He didn't argue. He called another man from the back. They both came outside with me. They opened the rear door, checked the seats, the floor, the trunk, nothing. But the younger one frowned. "It's freezing in here," he said. "The heater's on," I replied. He didn't answer. They handed me the key to my room. I went inside, locked the door, checked the bathroom, checked the closet. Nothing. I sat on the edge of the bed. My hands were still shaking. I lay down fully clothed. Around 1:30 a.m. I heard a car door outside. I stood up and looked through the curtain. She was standing beside my car, looking directly at my room. I couldn't see her face, but I knew it was her. I stepped back, then forced myself forward again. I opened the door. The parking lot was empty. She was gone. I went back inside, locked the door, got into bed, pulled the blanket over myself. Then I felt it, a tug. The blanket moved, slowly, pulled downward. I grabbed it and held on. It pulled again, stronger. Then the mattress sank beside me. Not slightly, fully, like someone had climbed into the bed. I felt the pressure, the weight, right next to me, and then I heard breathing, beside my ear, cold, wet, real. I screamed. I grabbed my keys and ran. As I reached the door, I heard movement behind me, not footsteps, pressure. The mattress shifted again, faster this time, like whatever had been lying there one was getting up, following. I didn't look back. I couldn't. My hand slipped on the doorknob before I finally got it open. The cold outside hit me immediately, but it felt safer than the room. Behind me, I heard the blanket slide off the bed completely, then silence. I opened the motel door and ran to my car, then I stopped. The rear passenger door was open again, and inside, I saw the seat fabric compress, as if someone invisible was sitting there, waiting. I didn't get in. I ran toward the road. A truck was coming. I waved my arms. The driver slowed. I climbed inside. As he pulled away, I looked back. I couldn't help it. My car door closed and on its own, and the headlights turned on, like someone had taken the driver's seat, watching us leave. The driver said nothing. He just drove. He dropped me at a gas station 30 miles away. I went home. 3 days later, the rental company called. They found the car. They asked if I had left anything behind. I said no. They told me they found a woman's coat and a notebook. It wasn't mine. I asked them what was in the notebook. There was a pause. Then the woman on the phone said, "It contains names." I didn't ask what names. I didn't want to know. I don't know what I saw that night. I don't know if it was real, if someone was actually there, or if it was all in my head. But I never hired a rental car again. And when I drive now, even my own car, I never look in the rearview mirror, not at night, not ever. And if I see someone standing alone on a dark road, I don't stop. I keep driving, because I don't know what was in that car, but I know I don't ever want to see it again.